and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so happy that you're here, and if you are returning, I'm very happy to see you again, and thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. And today we decided to do another speed build. I know, shocker, that's basically mostly what we do here on my channel, but you know, I do every now and again, I do some other things other than speed builds, but I just love building so much. But I decided that I wanted to do like a Mediterranean inspired build. Now, I am not saying it is a perfect Mediterranean home, so like don't come for me in the comments. I just really enjoyed building this. I've seen recently, I feel like a lot of creators trying to use the Courtyard Oasis kit or possibly the Wedding Stories pack, and I was like, you know what? I've really never used those packs. You know what I mean? I've never really used something that has that kind of inspiration. So a lot of both of those packs have a lot of like Mediterranean. The Courtyard Oasis to me is like a Moroccan kind of theme, and the Wedding Stories is more like it reminds me maybe like Italy, Greece. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if you know more than I do, because that's completely possible. But I kind of ended up combining those two. This is not a limited pack build, I will say. I just tried to heavily use those items to really give it that feel. And this was honestly such a fun build to make. I really, really enjoyed it. We are out on an island in Tartosa. And finally, I think I've only built on this like maybe once or twice. And I feel like I really need to remember that Tartosa exists because it's so incredibly beautiful. I just never think about it. And this house just works so perfectly here. And originally I kind of wanted this to be a tiny home. However, the game does not recognize it as a tiny home because of the balconies I have. That's probably the issue. And also I have like a front and back like step. So the game doesn't like that either for tile count. However, in the inside, it kind of feels like a tiny home. You know what I mean? Like the areas are pretty small, and there is actually only room for one sim in this build. However, I mean, you can swap stuff around if you'd like to, you know, feel free to do so. As always, this is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID, Spicensprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And, you know, do whatever you need to do for your gameplay. But this was so much fun to make. I don't think I've ever really used that tile before. Like, it was just really fun kind of experimenting with how I wanted this to look. And that area right below that really large balcony, I was like, you know what? It would be so beautiful and gorgeous if that was like the living room and it was like this open air, like you could see into it. Like I just envisioned this beautiful like living room space, and I honestly am really excited with the way it turned out. And I love the screenshots so much. I mean, I always love my screenshots. I don't know what it is, but like every time I look back, I'm like, I feel like the build always looks better in screenshots, if that makes sense, than when I'm building it. I'm like, wow, that like looks better than I thought it did. And I know maybe that sounds really silly, but like let me know if you've had that experience. But I don't know. I feel like it's just such a cozy build, like a sim moving out here to this little island, like this remote area, and just living the best life. You could obviously also make this a rental if you wanted to. I feel like that would be kind of fun too. And I did end up putting several skill building items on this lot as well. There is not a computer. However, like, you know, since it's really only for one sim, there is a dining table that you could add a computer to and kind of make it like a makeshift desk, if that makes sense. And really, like upstairs, you probably have room for one if you would like it. But I did something kind of interesting. I'm so excited. That other balcony that you see like on the back side of the build, I actually end up making that like an outdoor bathroom. Also, I think the trash truck is getting trash in the neighborhood right now, so if you can hear it, I apologize. They should be gone momentarily, but it would figure that I've been here for a while at my desk and no noise. And then the second I start recording, lots of noise. So I apologize for that. Oh my gosh, that is so loud. But anyways, I'm gonna keep going. So I end up like figuring out where to put the stairs. It took me a minute because of that balcony on top. Like there's not that much like indoor space in the second like floor, which is why I'm like, it's kind of a tiny home. You know what I mean? Like if you took off those two balconies, this would be a tiny home, I feel like. So anyways, you know, that's just my opinion. I think there may be some cheats you can do. Like I know there's like some fencing cheats you can do, but I don't know if like there's things you could do for balconies, if that makes sense. So let me know if you know if there is a way to kind of cheat the system and it also look normal, because I know some of the stuff you can do also kind of messes up the lighting because like the game thinks it's outside kind of thing. But anyways, I'm like talking over the build and not actually talking about it. So we have a beautiful kitchen space in that large living room area. We have a small 2-seater like dining table. However, obviously there's room in the living room if you have people over, they can hang out. I do end up putting like some small seating areas outside as well. And I had so much fun kind of deciding what I wanted to do for the landscaping, and I decided to pull a lot from the surrounding island area. So that's where I got a lot of these plants from, kind of the hydrangeas you can see kind of in the front of the lot. I used those, as well as the, is that like agave or aloe or something? The spiky ones. Clearly I know so much about plants, but the spiky ones on like the shoreline there, I bring those in as well. And just some like, just a lot of rocks. I really like wanted it to feel natural in this environment, which sometimes can be difficult. And also a tip that, you know, if you are newer to Sims building, or if you've been doing it for a while and you didn't know, I mean, like I feel like me watching like speed builds and stuff, I learned so much about the game, if that makes sense. But if you actually go into live edit and debug, you can get a lot of these plants that are in the surrounding area that aren't necessarily in the game by default, which is still so weird to me. But anyways, I ended up trying to pull a lot of those plants from the surrounding area to really make it fit in really well. Like actually, I think one of the trees, if not both of them in the back that I put on the lot, are actually not part of the like pack, like by standard release. So being able to pull stuff out of, you know, debug was really nice here. It is also a really good like money saver if you're trying to do, you know, a budget build, which I don't do much of. And this house actually comes out to be 66,000 simoleons, so not super cheap. However, like, I don't know. Actually, you know, let me know. Do you, when you play Sims, if you play The Sims, do you cheat for money? Do you know what I mean? Or do you try to actually like make The Sims money? You know, like I feel like I want to say a lot of people cheat for money, but I don't know. Is that just my perception? Like, I am curious, like genuinely, or like, does it kind of depend? I feel like for me, it does depend, like whether I would cheat the money or not. And it's actually so funny when I started playing Sims, like way back in the day with Sims 1, I remember, well, first of all, there was like the Rosebud, like money cheat. Listen, when I found out that was a thing, I thought I was like the smartest person. Okay. I thought I was like hacking the system. I was like, I was a genius, right? Like, I don't even remember how I came across this information, because like I didn't really know anybody else who played it, you know, and I didn't like YouTube. I didn't even really get into gaming YouTube until like a couple of years ago. I didn't even know really was a thing. So I don't even know where I got this information from, but I always felt really cheaty when I used it. So I felt like I didn't use it very often. I feel like I use it more now. However, like if I'm playing a storyline that actually like, you know, I'm really trying to live out those Sims lives, if that makes sense. I try not to do as much cheating, like on, you know, and again, like I'm calling it cheating, but like, I mean, it's a cheat code, right? Like you can use it if you want to. But now of course I have mods that can more easily do that stuff, cheat the weather. Like, oh my goodness, past me had no idea that this was a thing. I didn't even know what mods were. I feel like I'm just going down memory lane right now, so I apologize for that. But like, that's my journey with The Sims. Like, it took me a long time. I only recently, like within the last year, even ever had a mod in my game, because I actually, when I started streaming, I'm actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary on Twitch, which is kind of fun. So if you haven't followed me over there, be sure to do so. The link is down below if you want to know, you know, when we go live, like all of that kind of good stuff. And we would love to have you. We just kind of hang out. I do a lot of Sims gameplay and building, and I also do some other like simulation games like House Flipper and stuff like that, if you've ever heard of that game. And if you're into decorating The Sims, you really might like House Flipper. I'm just saying, I'm obsessed. I feel like I go through phases of just wanting to play nothing but that. But anyways, and the second one is coming out in December. So if you're someone that plays that, like that is coming out in December, and I'm so excited. And I feel like I'm so off topic. And you know what? I think it's because I feel like last week, did I only post like one build last week? That's insane. I don't know what happened to last week. Like, and I will say, like, it was a really good good week for me, like just like mental health wise and all that. I'm not getting into anything. I just had like, I feel like a really good week, and partially is because of my new dog that I got. I talked about that in my last video. Like, I feel like she helps me a lot, but I feel like maybe it's just been a while since I've done a voiceover, so I'm just like talking about all of the things I've discovered over the past week. And so anyways, that is House of Two is coming out in December, which I'm so excited about. So if you're interested in, you know, playing that game, I just thought I would share that information. Oh yeah, I was talking about Twitch. So a year ago, almost a year ago, like I think like October 5th is when I did my first stream. Oh, holy moly, that was like, I can't even believe I even like started doing that. I was so stressed about it, but we have so much fun over there. I stream 3 times a week, Tuesday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come, you know, hang with us, I usually stream for like 3 hours, but if I get too into it, it might be longer. Like, it just kind of depends what I'm doing. And like, I remember starting to stream and one of my first followers was like, oh, do you have better build by? Like, you need to get it. Do you have tool? You should get it. And I was like, I don't know. And then I finally did it. I installed better build by, which is such a game changer. If you've never heard of that mod, highly recommend, highly recommend. If you are someone that likes to build, it just makes your life a whole lot easier. Like, it doesn't do anything like funky to your game. Like, I have never really had any issues. You just have to update it like when the game updates kind of thing, but I have a whole lot of fun with it. So highly recommend. But anyway, so that kind of like started my path with with actually using mods. And just also, if you're newer to my channel, I don't use build CC. I've only used build CC once, and it was, I think I actually just did it on a stream as a channel challenge thing we did, that I would use some CC because I want to be like, for you to be able to download it off the gallery like really easily and not have any issues in trying to worry about what CC I might have been using. However, I do use some cast CC, which that's really fun because I don't really upload sims, that kind of thing, just really my builds. But anyways, I don't know why I went on that such a tangent, but this living room is just so cozy. I love it. And I will say that, yes, that like coffee table is way too close. It is too close to the couch we have there. And it was funny when I was building, I was like, it's slotting right there, but I feel like it's too close. And like, I guess on that note, this has been play tested. I did have a sim go in, and so what is uploaded to the gallery, like it works and everything, but how it is right now, it's a little bit too close. So we do actually move that. And I also apologize. I skipped around a lot on the first floor because because this was a new aesthetic for me. I, did a lot of like testing and seeing how I felt and what I really wanted this to look like in here. So I just kind of had to like go around a lot to really get a feel for it. And I was really worried about the kitchen originally because of just like where it was and like it just looking funny. But I'm in love with this kitchen. Honestly, like I want to play with this home. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like, I love all of my builds, but some of my builds, I want to play with this build, you know what I mean? And I just don't do that very often because I don't do much gameplay. Like I mentioned, mostly on Twitch. We're actually about to wrap up our Big Sister challenge either this week or next week, and then we'll be starting some sort of new gameplay. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I haven't decided, but that's maybe when I use my builds, but I don't even really play very much on my own just because I spend a lot of time at building, which honestly, I feel like, especially when I started like playing Sims, that's basically what I did. I feel like I got a household and I just like I ended up working the Sims just so hard, like all the time, to get promotions so I could get money so I could build, okay? Like, that's basically what playing the Sims was for me, was to have Sims to get a bunch of money to build. Again, that was like before I really did cheats. And like here in the Sims 4, if you just go like directly into build mode from like the map, you get that like infinity symbol there with the budget, so you don't have to worry about budget. So like technically there are Sims living on this lot. However, since I went into build mode from the map, I didn't have to worry about like how much money they had, if that makes sense. And it was actually really funny. The family that's living here at the moment, which probably is not the family that started there, if there even is a family that starts here. It may be like I don't know if it's like the stories or no, what is it called? Anyways, in the Sims, when they like the Sims actually like move around and stuff, I think that's actually active in this build save I have. So I don't even know if that family like belongs here. However, the funny part is they had, I kid you not, I think like 5 dogs. So when I went to play test this, it was like, usually I try to play test with like 1 sim, right? But like, I was like, I'll just use the sim that's like already on the lot, right? Instead of bringing my own here. But they had so many dogs that I was like, this is like, just dogs running around everywhere. And like trying to take screenshots, I was like, dogs, like you got to get out of the way. It was just kind of funny. I was like, how did this even happen? So I think it's probably like the neighborhood stories thing or whatever it's called, that like you can adopt pets and kids and move and stuff like that. But I just thought that was kind of funny. And upstairs here, what I will say is in this bathroom area, I like the way I set it up. However, there wasn't really room for the shower or bathtub, which is okay because actually, I actually ended up putting the shower and bathtub on that back balcony. So I thought that'd be so fun. I didn't know what I was going to do with both of those balconies because that's so much balcony space. But I thought, you know what? What if we had like an open air like shower and bathtub out there? Like that would be so fun, especially if you use this as a rental lot. Like you're out on an island, right? Like you could do that. And I just thought that was such a fun idea. And I honestly love the way that like extra bathroom space worked out, and your sim can use it. Like I said, it's all play tested. The one thing I will say though is I'm not sure how this is going to go if it like storms in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it may like get hit by lightning, some of this stuff, and you may have to replace it. So you do have the option of either just, replacing it and cheap money, or you can like extend the roof over it if you would like to. But I just like the look of it without the roof, so I didn't do that. But obviously you can change that depending on what you kind of want to deal with when you're living on this lot to begin with, or if you like cheat weather or something, like you don't have to worry about it. So just adding in this like custom shower and bath area, and I end up putting like a chair and a little cabinet out here, and it just felt felt kind of like a really cool spa area. Like, I don't know, I really liked it. And I end up in the rest of that first floor, I just put in one single bed, and you will see like once I get to it that I end up like intersecting the Book Nook kit like love seat into the bed to actually like have extra pillows on the bed, because I really like the idea, and it had some lovely colors on it to bring in like, because I feel like we have a lot of like reds, some yellows, and some blues in there. And so the bed I used actually was from Eco Lifestyle, and it was like the blue swatch. And so to bring in some more yellows and reds, I used that couch to do so. And I will say that the sim did not like it when I play tested it. However, I fixed it, and your sim should be fine. I just tried to like combine 2 words there, so apologies. Like, I feel like every time I haven't done a speed build voiceover in a while, I like I can't even talk anymore. But anyways, you can see I'm kind of figuring out what I want this to look like, so that there's just more pillows on the bed, because I wish we had pillows. Like, that would be my dream. I would love to be able to place pillows. And honestly, I feel like, we've seen footage like from like Project Renee, and like they had like pillows on there and stuff. I got so excited about that. I really hope that actually makes it to the final version of whatever they're gonna call Project Renee, like, or Sims 5, or whatever like the community is calling it. I feel like I've seen a lot of it both ways. But anyways, just talking about pillows, like my dream, I would love that. And I know there's a lot of CC that does that, and that's just like honestly amazing. Like the one time I built with CC, I was like, this is stunning. This is amazing. I love this so much. But again, I don't really use CC. I don't use CC when I build and upload to the gallery, so people don't have issues getting it from the gallery. But I ended up making like a cute like reading nook area over there, and just putting some pictures around. And then actually out on this balcony, I put a small seating area, an easel, a chess table, like, so there's plenty for your Sims to do. Like I mentioned earlier, there's no computer, but that's something that you can easily add if you decide that you would like to, and that's something you need. But you may not need it if you're actually going to use it like as a rental kind of thing. So honestly, I feel like this could be a cool like off the grid lot as well. However, you would definitely have to replace things like, because this was not made off the grid or anything like that, but that could be fun too, I feel like, in terms of gameplay. And I kind of left the rest of the backyard until the end because I wasn't sure what I wanted out here. Originally, I thought maybe I'd put a pool out here or something like that, but I don't know, I opted not to. I feel like a lot of times I put pools in, but like, I don't know, like, are pools really that common? And I figured since we were on the beach that we wouldn't necessarily need that. Of course, you can add that if you would like to, but I opted not to, and instead just having a small patio. And I end up putting the archaeology table out here as well. I don't know why, but it just felt like it fit here to have that out and like have something for your Sims to do. And so just adding in like a pathway to kind of get everywhere. And we put a bench over there by the fountain as well. I figured, your Sim might want to go sit out there and relax by the fountain. And just like, it's so pretty. Like, I honestly, like, I've never been like to any Mediterranean country. Like, this kind of reminds me of maybe slightly Tuscan, but like, you let me know. But again, like, since I've not really been to those places, it's a little harder for me to know kind of like what this actually reminds you of. And especially since I kind of combine different items from different packs, like, it really probably doesn't have a particular identity is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would say that this is like a Moroccan build, even though I use some of the stuff from like Courtyard Oasis, you know what I mean? But anyways, let me know what this reminds you of. So I'll probably just call this like a Mediterranean home or something like that. But anyways, like, just finishing up some of the like exterior here and last minute putting in the archaeology table, and I just thought it'd be fun. Like, maybe they come out here and this is where they do a lot of their work. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and go ahead and become a member of the Sprinkle Squad here in the Candy Kingdom. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.